folks. What's going on in Israel and in the Gaza Strip is a horrible tragedy. Just the bombing alone, uh, on both sides, from both sides, is is only going to turn out in the worst possible scenario for the innocent civilians stuck in the middle of this war zone. It's basically what it is at this point. They had 24. All the people that were in Gaza had 24-hour notice to get out before hellfire rains down on them because Israel wanted to retaliate over what some Hamas terrorists did. And I agree, these terrorists should be wiped off the face of the planet for the things that I've just seen on the internet alone. Just the barbarianism. It's un it's so crazy. It's heartbreaking to be honest, and they deserve to be punished. No doubt about it. And I don't blame Israel for being mad. But what I see is no matter what, there is no good solution here. From this point forward, it's only going to get worse as far as scenarios, and the casualties of this war will be financial casualties, will be land mass, who owns more property issues, but more than that, the hugest casualty of this whole situation will be the innocent lives of the people that are caught in the middle. I'm talking about Israelis getting bombed and shot, and Palestinians that are not part of Hamas that are stuck in that Gaza Strip and probably have nowhere to go at this point and no time to get there. While Israel, with justified means, is attacking uh, anywhere that they believe is a installation or a compound for Hamas, the terrorist organization. There's several countries that are now getting more involved. Like I said, Turkey and Syria are now basically mobilizing. I would have to say, at least involving their borders and getting into conversations with picking teams. And that is a horrible situation. I hate to see that we're in the on the brink of World War III at this point, but it is a very good possibility. That's what's really going on in the big picture. All I can say is the innocent civilian caught in the crossfire, amount of lives that will be lost behind this. I can't imagine the number. It's going to be devastating. It's going to be so bad they're going to be guessing at how many thousands before it's all said and done. It's hard to count casualties with indiscriminate bombing, and that's just a fact. Now let's go ahead and get into the majority. Leader Steve Scalise wins House Republican nomination for Speaker with 113 to 99 votes, and that wasn't on the House floor. That was behind closed chamber doors. They did what's called a secret or a private vote, a secret ballot vote, and this is what I know about it. When the House the other day was trying to decide whether they wanted to do any more funding for Ukraine in these appropriations packages, the House was split pretty much down the middle, a 99 to like 117, I think it was, on the Ukraine for Ukraine or against Ukraine's future spending packages, future funding. And so the Republican Party is split right down the middle, 50-50, over should we send Ukraine any more money. And Jim Jordan is a hell no at this point. And Steve Scalise, up to this point, has been willing to continue to help get this over the finish line to get these funding packages pushed through. So that is one of these stark differences I see between the two. Uh, One of the other things is I believe they're both great people. I think Jim Jordan has got a lot of work to be doing in his committees and probably has his hands full and would probably prefer that Steve Scalise take it just so he can get back to what he wants to do, which is act like a lawyer, basically, for the courts, for the judicial process of digging into the Bidens and the DOJ and all this corruption. So that's the weighing in possibilities of why I think Jim Jordan shouldn't do it. But at the same time, I think he's probably the best one to do it as far as accomplishment, skills, and drive to try to better America. Now, I don't know enough about Steve Scalise. He is not really one of your more outspoken politicians. But I do know that he was a party whip, which means that he gets along with almost everybody, and he has the ability to get people together to bring together legislation, get people to come around to his way of thinking. And so he's obviously a great negotiator. If you're a party whip, you've obviously got some skills. That doesn't come as a natural job that's given to you. It is something that gets designated to you because you have that ability. And so that's one plus for Steve Scalise. I believe they'll both do the right thing for the country. As far as taking care of business, I believe they want to close the border. I believe single spending bills versus omnibus bills is what a lot of the people are fighting for. At this point, we have about 8 or 9 holdouts, and Matt Gaetz not being one of them, but holdouts as to who they're going to vote for. But as of right now, it is 113 to 99. Tomorrow in the chambers, probably, they will call a vote, but they don't want to really call a vote until they know they have a full 217, 218 to get across the finish line. And so Jim Jordan is backing Steve Scalise, and Steve Scalise is backing Jim Jordan. They're both trying to do the respectful thing. But they need to come to some kind of consensus as to who is going to take the job, and it's just a matter of who's going to do the better job. But at any rate, I want to read you a little bit about what is going on as far as that goes. Now, tomorrow, they may rehash things out before they take a vote on this. It may take several rounds. May find out that Jim Jordan ends up with the majority before it's all over. But it's definitely about Ukraine. It's about Ukraine funding. It's about open borders. It's about doing more to have the ability to stand up to the Department of Justice and all these three-lettered agencies which are trying to block these investigations into the Bidens. And also Israel funding as well, or Israel support, however we need to, with this current situation. Probably selling them more bullets is probably what that's going to boil down to. It says 113 rhinos part from Jim Jordan. What a disgrace. Scalise is McCarthy in the flesh. Now, this is Lou Dobbs' opinions. It's a time for the conservatives in the party to rise up once again and reject rhinos from leadership. So he's calling for another, Lou Dobbs is calling for another kick him out over he's not going to do the right job. I think that's overstepping your bounds, Mr. Lou Dobbs. He is a conservative, but I don't always agree with him. There's a lot of conservative mouthpieces out there that I don't agree with 100% of the time. Newt Gingrich is one. Sometimes I agree with him 100%. Just like the other day, he said some stuff about Matt Gaetz that I'm just shaking my head at and thinking, don't you want to help the country? But enough about that. I don't believe it was 113 rhinos that split from Jim Jordan. I think it was 113 profiteers, with some rhinos included, split from Jim Jordan, because it basically boils down to, will Jim Jordan continue to fund Ukraine? Most likely not. Will Steve Scalise? All signs point to yes at this point. And so that tells me right there with just the numbers alone that the split was probably over future Ukraine funding over anything else. You think that maybe because there's money involved in it, that there may be some kickbacks or some rollbacks or some boomerang cash or something that comes out of uh, this laundromat, otherwise known as Ukraine. But anyway, it says House Republicans voted behind closed doors to select Steve Scalise of Louisiana as a nominee for Speaker, according to multiple sources familiar with paving the way for a floor vote to elect a new Speaker after McCarthy was ousted. The vote for the nominees for the Speaker was underway on Wednesday. House Republicans held a closed vote for the nominee. Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise are both vying for support. McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker on Tuesday in a 216 to 210 vote after Matt Gaetz filed for a motion to vacate the chair. 8 Republicans helped oust McCarthy, and McCarthy is now the shortest serving Speaker since 1876. It says House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan and Representative Steve Scalise last week both announced their bid for the House seat. As of now, Steve Scalise is the clear favorite to become the nominee for Speaker, but it is not a done deal yet. It's got to be voted on before in the House and get to the 217 majority. So it's still up in the air, folks. I'm okay with either one of them. I do like the idea of Jim Jordan being on Judiciary Committee. I just hope Steve Scalise is as strong as he needs to be with his job as Speaker if that's the way it goes down. Says Jake Sherman, I don't know who that is, somebody on Twitter, says Steve Scalise is now the clear favorite to become the GOP nominee for Speaker. He could wrap this up today, which they're done voting for the day, so that's not happening. The Scalise whip operation worked overtime for the last few days to defeat the motion to change the party's rule to nominate a Speaker. Okay, let's see here. It says developing the House GOP conference has finished its secret ballot, and while the vote has yet to be released, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise is believed to be the winner. And at this point, that was just a secret vote. And since they never did get to a 217 number in the secret vote, they're probably going to have to go back to the secret vote tomorrow and rehash it out, or they may even bring it up before the House floor. But I would hope they don't bring it up to the floor until there's a consensus on who's actually going to get the majority, and everybody's going to side with that person. Hopefully, this won't take days or weeks. Hopefully, this will take tomorrow, Friday at best. That's what I'm hoping for. That's all I got for you today, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. Everybody stay safe. Stay out of these big cities if you can. Keep your head on a spiral. Pay attention to what's going on around you. We do have people that are flooding into this country each and every day for the last couple of years, and they're not all our friends. A lot of them are our enemies, our arch enemies. We've got people from China coming in. Every country in the world, over 150 countries have had their citizens reportedly come to our border, and that includes all these terrorist supporting countries as well. So that's something to think about, folks. With what's going on over there, while they chant death to Israel, they also, like Iran, they also chant death to America. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears open, and just stay safe, and please pay attention to your surroundings. I don't have any better advice for anybody than that. Just make sure you know where there's an exit for every building you ever step into, just as a rule. Just little things like that. If you do happen to carry a firearm, remember how to get to it quickly and how to use it if necessary. It could be just a matter of time, folks, before this war that has just begun may actually land on our shores if it hasn't already infiltrated our infrastructure, living right amongst us as we speak. That's all I got for you, folks. Like, subscribe, and share, devoted patriots. Over and out.